I am really an advocate for using forms of art and theater and artistic expression to help us handle the challenges of life. Okay. And we've featured in the last couple of years several playwrights who've written plays and theatrical performances around their experience with elder care. And I am delighted to welcome Erin Whalen, and she's got a whole team with her today that you're going to meet in a little bit, but who introduced me to this improv concept called playback theater. And it's absolutely amazing. And I'm so excited to share it with you today. And I'm also keeping my fingers crossed that some of you will be willing to be a volunteer in this process. So Erin, if you want to join me on stage, and just folks, the reason I'm so excited right now is before we turned on the mic, Erin and her team did a little with me. They did a little playback theater, and I was absolutely blown away. I am just in awe of the creativity and how it made me feel. It was just absolutely amazing. So I'm really delighted to share this with everybody here. But Erin, before we dive into this, let's get to know you a little bit better, and then give us the sort of what the definition of what we're going to experience today is.
So first of all, thank you so much for having me and my team here today, Steve. And thanks for, as I mentioned earlier to you before you started letting the whole group in, thank you for taking a risk. For someone who's never seen this art form before, you were just all gung-ho and ready to go from day one. So thank you for that. So playback theater, I was recently asked, did you invent this? No, I did not invent this. This is an art form that has been around for many years. It was founded in 1975 by a man named Jonathan Fox and his partner, Joe Salas, actually in the US, but now it is performed in over 70 countries worldwide. And it's a living, breathing art form that incorporates storytelling and improvisational drama, music, movement. And I've personally been doing this art form since 2010. And I founded my company, Compassionate Coaching, in 2020. And I love offering playback through my company. It's just such an honor.
And I think that you've shared with me that recently you did this at a hospice conference or an end of life conference, or and we're doing this virtually, but this is also performed live as well, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it can be done. We actually transitioned very well when the pandemic hit to virtual performances. And now that the world has, opened up a bit more, we are back doing in-person performances, and we, have really mastered the art of how to do it virtually on Zoom. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we performed for the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization for their virtual conference.
Yeah, and I was blown away at how you did it here. And so one thing that I want to remind people of is that if you're on a computer in your upper right-hand corner, you can select gallery or speaker view. You really want to try to be on gallery view so that right now you should see me and Erin on the stage because there's going to be other performers popping on. Having everybody on the screen, I think, will make the experience a lot better for everybody. Okay, so this is exciting. So Erin, are we ready to recruit a volunteer?
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to be inviting my team to come on stage. We've got John Johnson will be facilitating the playback process. He's called in playback the conductor. We've got Tamika Jones will be playing some beautiful improvisational music, improvised music. An amazing musician. And then myself, And Pamela Jafari and Gregory Ford will be the actors who will be playing back people's stories. So everything I do at Compassionate Coaching is very hands-on and interactive. So I want people to experience what we're doing. So I'm just going to hand the baton over to John, who will elicit our first teller. And so everyone can experience playback theater.
Okay, and so everybody, you should see 6 of us on the screen right now. Hopefully, that's the ideal. If not, you're still going to have a great experience, but to have everybody. And what I'm going to say is that when John solicits the volunteers, if you would like to be a volunteer, then, and I highly recommend it, because this is an honor to be a volunteer. I will tell you that. If you raise your virtual hand, then I will turn on your mic and camera and you can participate in this art form. So take it away, John, and we'll see if we can get our first volunteer.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hello. And thank you, Pam Phillips, for using the chat. You said that you can see all 6 of us. That means that we know that we are communicating with people out there in the world. So I'm gonna ask everyone to turn, including you, Steve, to turn your cameras off. Okay. And now the question has been transferred to the people. So who has a story on some of the joys or the challenges of aging? All you have to do is either raise your hand or in the chat say, I have a story.
Or of caregiving, joys and challenges of caregiving.
Or caregiving, right.
Yeah.
So anyone who has a story, you can just either say, hey, I have a story in the chat like Pam did when she said that she could see us all, or you can raise your hand and Steve will bring you up and we can just have a little discussion, and those wonderful performers that you just saw.
Okay, we got Martha Cooper. We got Martha. And so I am going to bring Martha up. So Martha, if you want to turn on your mic, it looks like your mic is, oops. Oh, did Martha? Yeah, there she is.
I see Martha. Hello, okay. Martha.
Martha.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad that Zoom was allowing us to have this conversation right now. So where does your story begin, Martha?
Oh, I guess we'll just start on Sunday. Okay. My mother's 98 and it was Mother's Day, of course, and we went and picked her up, and with the wheelchair. She usually uses a walker, but in the wheelchair, and took her for a ride, and then had to figure out where to park and how to manage her wheelchair in the park, etc. But it was such a beautiful day that it worked out beautifully. So that's my story.
Okay, so I just want to ask you a few more questions. You have to imagine like your story is we have a blank canvas and you're Bob Ross painting pictures. So tell us your mother's name. What is your mother's name?
So my mother's Janet.
Janet.
Yes.
And so you say it's such a wonderful to give me a description of what it's like to be the daughter of Janet. Why are you in love with Janet so much?
It's both an honor and a huge challenge. And so you try always to figure out what will bring her joy. Mm-hmm. And so we were working on that, but it was a lovely day. And so she is able to respond in the moment, mm-hmm. but she won't necessarily remember what day it is. Like, you know, is today Mother's Day or is it Sunday or whatever? So, but she can say whether she likes something or doesn't like something, and she really is good at noticing things. So,
okay, so what did you do to bring her joy?
I took her outside, and because she's stuck in an assisted living most of the time.
And what did you see? What did you see with your mother when you took her outside? What are some of the things that you guys enjoyed together?
A stream going through the park with a dog park section across the stream, and in the stream the dogs were playing and they were having so much fun. And one dog was even splashing his paw on the water and opening his mouth to try to catch the water.
Okay. So you and your mama had joy just watching the animals and being outside together. Okay.
Right.
All right. So just this my last little thing, and we will play back this story of Mother's Day that you shared a few days ago with your mother. Give me a title to this story that you just shared with these little bits of your life that you shared with us.
Mother's Day. I want to just say joy, but it's more than that. Excitement.
Okay.
Mother's Day excitement.
Mother's Day excitement. And so Martha, I'm going to ask you to stay on, but I'm going to ask you to mute yourself and then watch what comes up on the screen. And I'm going to come back and check in with you. Okay. All right. So on the count of 3, I'm going to say, Martha, let's watch. And you're going to see the screen light up with actors and music and everything. And then once we're done, I'll just come back and talk to you. Okay. All right. So on the count of 3, I'm going to say, Martha, let's watch. 1. And we're going to do Gregory, Erin, and Pamela. Gregory, Erin, and Pamela. All right. 1, 2, 3. Martha, let's watch.
Oh, I'm gonna care for you until the very end. Oh, it's Mother's Day, joy and excitement can begin. I'm gonna care for you.
Oh, I love the water. It's so nice being alive. Ooh, people, do you see the water? Do you see how wonderful it is? Oh, why don't you come get in the water with me? I'm having fun, but I see you're having fun too.
Oh, the things we'll see and the things we'll do. That's how you will know that I care for you.
Martha? I know you. I may be 98, but I know you. I know love when I see it, and I see it in your eyes. But there's something else in those eyes, too. Martha, is that joy? No, it's something else. Martha, come here. Martha, what is... Oh, I know what that is. That look in your eyes is excitement.
See the love in your eyes and the joy you bring. Such an honor to be with you and me. I'm gonna take care of you and you'll take care of me. On Mother's Day, we will see what we see.
Okay, come on. We're not taking a walker. This will do just fine. A little bit of a heel, that's okay. I've got you. Oh, it's so beautiful out here. Look around. Yes. Oh my gosh, look, the dog. Mom, isn't this wonderful? It's so beautiful out here. I feel my heart. I don't know, it's just another Mother's Day with you, and it's exciting and it's beautiful out here. Wasn't this an excellent idea? The park, you and me, Mother's Day. Oh, Mom, I love you so much.
Oh, I'm gonna care for you until the very end. 'Cause it's Mother's Day, joy and excitement can begin. I'm gonna take care of you.
Thank you, performers. Thank you so much. All right, so performers, you can turn your cameras off. And Martha, you can unmute and say, what was it like to watch your Mother's Day story play back?
It was interesting, to both capture the joy and excitement and the music, the song, and there was a disconnect because my mother is much more verbal and faster at communicating and much less evocative or emotional or whatever. So, but it was an really interesting new way of doing things. So,
cool. Well, thank you. We're artists. We try. We're trying our best to
right,
mirror a
right.
beautiful story of a daughter loving her mother at 98 years old. So thank you so much, Martha.
Man, Martha, thank you for being a volunteer and having the courage to do that. But I can tell you, I cried several times, not only when you were telling your story, because it was just a beautiful story, but when the performers were playing it back, it was really an amazing process. I'm just blown away at this. And doesn't it almost feel like somebody and how that song and everything was just totally improv? They just came up with this right there. It's like you were the star of a musical, Martha. And the cool thing is, we've got a recording that you can share. So the next time you go to see your mom, if you feel like it, you could show her this recording.
You muted, Martha.
Yeah, I don't think that
okay.
I would do that with her.
Well,
but anyway, but it was great to rewrap who my mother is and enjoy more purely a love relationship. So that was really great.
Yeah, you are a wonderful daughter, I have to say, and the way that you talk about your mom is amazing, and you're an inspiration to all the caregivers out there, because that's not easy, and so just that was great. So I hope you had a great experience, Martha. Thank you so much. So I'll move you back to the audience, and let's see here. And then we've already got a volunteer for our second one, and that is Sheila. So I'm gonna bring Sheila to the stage. If I can find her here, there, okay. So Sheila, I am promoting you to come to the stage. So now we all know how this is done, and I'm blown away. And then I see that I've got Renee raising her hand. So if we can do 3 today, Renee, you're next on deck. But if okay, so we got Sheila. Okay, great. So
Okay.
I'm going to drop behind the curtains, and I'm looking forward to another performance here.
Hello,
Well,
Sheila.
hi, John. My experience is completely different. I am a caregiver. Let's see, of my 2 siblings. The 3 of us live in the same house. My mother passed away. We are all over 60. My brother and sister are diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. It is very difficult for me to, after going away to college, moving overseas, to come back and be a caregiver for the past, I don't know how many years, I guess 8 years. Anyway, my story is I recently got my sister, who is 68, to go to daycare. My brother takes care of my sister. When I say take care of, he gets her dressed, and he takes, because he doesn't like for health aides to come in, so he takes care of her. So anyway, recently he asked me to buy him some scrubs. And he said he wanted a bright red pair of scrubs because he wants to look the part, and he wants a stethoscope. And I said, why do you want a stethoscope? And he said he just wanted one. And he said he was a grown man, and he wanted a stethoscope, and he wants to look the part of a health professional. So I said, look, I'll get you the scrubs, but I'm not getting a stethoscope because it makes you look like you're a nurse or something when you're not. And so anyway, he got upset because I said I wasn't going to do it. And a couple of days later, he went out and got one. So he mows the lawn in scrubs and a stethoscope, and he takes care of my sister. He gets her up ready for daycare. So, and then I have to struggle with my sister to get her to go to daycare, and they get up and she's got on her clothes, and I say, okay, have a good day at daycare. And I take off and go to work. And then she doesn't go. It's like they just want to stay in the house and, watch TV all day and eat. And that's it.
and be with their sister.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Right. So let me. So Sheila, I would like to do this wonderful thing. Actors, can you please turn your cameras on for a moment? So Sheila, I would like for you to pick. There's Gregory, Pamela, and Erin. I would like for you to pick one of them to play you in the story.
One of them to play me.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll pick Pamela to play me.
Okay. So and I need just a little bit more information from you. You said you were overseas and you go to work. What is your job, and what were some of the things you've done in the past before you became a caregiver?
Before I became a caregiver, I was a journalist, a reporter.
Okay.
I worked in Africa for a while. I was a consumer advocate. I taught classes at community college.
Okay. And so real quick, what has been the most challenging part of taking care of your siblings? And then what has been the joyous part of taking of them? Give me those two things for me, and then we can play back your story.
The most challenging is I want them to be more self-sufficient.
Okay.
It's been challenging to get them to try to be active and be out, and for my sister to go to daycare and be social.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother to do what I tell him to do because I think I know better. But anyway, that's me. But
okay, and so what's the joyous moments of being a caregiver and loving your family members?
Well, I'm happy when I know that they're happy. I like to cook and fill the house with the smell of good food, and I know that they're happy, or around Christmas time or birthdays, or of course, I'm happy when they're happy. When I take my sister out to the park, my brother, he doesn't like to go out. He stays inside, or he stays around the house. They're kind of reclusive. So, being out in nature, he likes to mow the lawn, and that's happy. I'm happy when they're happy.
You're happy when they're happy. Okay, all right. And so this is I have two last little questions for you. Can you tell me your brothers and your sisters' names?
Yeah. My brother's name is Chris.
Chris.
My sister's name is Valerie. I call her Val.
Chris and Val. Okay. And my final thing, give me a title to this story that you just shared with us.
My title would be My Siblings Finding Independence.
My Siblings Finding Independence. We're going to do a full story, Sheila. So I want you to stay on camera, just mute yourself. And I'm going to say, Sheila, let's watch. And you'll see your story come back to life. All right.
Okay.
So actors, can you turn your cameras off? All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Sheila, let's watch.
Do, 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 do. I'm a caregiver, and giving care is my game. I'm gonna walk and talk and look like one caregiver all the same.
That smells so good. I'm telling you. I love it when the house smells up and fills the air with my cooking. They love my cooking also, both of them, Val and Chris. They're a handful. I thought being a journalist was a handful. And
I'm mowing the lawn, sis.
I got it. He's on a lawnmower.
You like my scrubs?
That's what you have on? The scrubs I got you?
Yeah, and now
What is that around your neck?
I just need a stethoscope. Yeah, I got it myself.
You spent your hard-earned money on a stethoscope?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Chris, I can't. Chris, where's Valerie? Aren't you two going to the park? I told her I would take her, but I thought you were going to take her.
Oh, Valerie, I can't hear you.
Chris, you're muted. What's going on with you? Chris, your lips are moving, but you're still muted.
Don't tell her anything.
No.
Listen. I need you to take Val to the daycare today. I'm on my way to work. I've got to leave in the next 5 minutes. Don't procrastinate. No TV today. They're waiting for you. I told them you were coming. All right? Okay, you two. I'm going to be back at my regular time.
Okay.
No procrastinating today.
What are you cooking? It smells so good.
I left it on the stove for you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Plenty.
Val, let's stay home.
That's right. That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Let's watch TV.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you want? Anything special? I want to watch a movie.
Let's watch a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
I want to
like
watch something with Eddie Murphy in it. That's
okay, let's do it. How about what's a good one? Coming to America.
Oh,
and we can dress up.
What have you two been doing all day?
Coming to America. I said we're coming to America.
Is that the TV? How long's it been on? And no one's talking now? I see. You two are a handful. I tell you. Okay. We've had dinner.
It was good.
You two,
Wonderful.
excuse me for just a moment.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Well, I tell you guys, a moment by myself. Wow, these 8 years, I tell you, I love them both. It's been something since mom left. It's been my responsibility, I know, and I know they both depend on me, and I know if it wasn't for me, I just can't imagine what would happen with them. But I love them, and as hard as this is, I would quit journalism and quit teaching and quit being an activist just to be here with them because I love them so much. Hey, Chris, Val, how about a family hug for a moment, huh? Bring it in. All right.
Sometimes they don't listen to what I say, but they know that I love them anyway. 'Cause I'm a caregiver, and caregiving is my game. Oh, we're gonna walk and talk like one, all the same. Ba-da-da.
Thank you, performers. Thank you so much. Sheila, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm crying in front of the whole country.
It's okay. It's okay. Sheila, I want you to do me a favor. If you resonated with that story, all the folks on there, just put a word in the chat of how you felt about watching Sheila's story playback. Just one word in the chat. It's such a beautiful story, and many other people are connected to that. But I wanted to get your feedback on watching it play back, you being a caretaker of your siblings.
I think it was pretty accurate, except I think Pamela was much sweeter than I am. You know, I sometimes get so irritated, and you know, if I'm not, you know, I try to keep my emotions in check because my brother's younger, my sister's older than me. So I'm dealing with the male ego also. So either I'm by myself yelling and screaming at them, or just trying to keep a even tone when I speak to them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever hugged them, you know. So when I saw you hugging, that made me think, you know, I'm sure if I went home and hugged them, they would think I was insane.
Or maybe not, you know, maybe that's a thing to try. And let me just say, Sheila, we hear the challenge and the pull, and you know, the sacrifice that's also there. That was also a part of it too. So we appreciate, you know, the sacrifice for family that you've expressed, and also the honesty of the frustration of being a caregiver too. That's also in there. So we heard that, and that normalizes that experience for those of us who have to do that type of work. So thank you so much.
Thank you again. Thank you.
All right.
Everybody.
All right. So Steve, I'm gonna bring you back up. And Sheila, look through the comments so you can hear how people felt about the story that you shared.
Okay.
Oh, it was great. And you know, Sheila, they did a little playback for me before I came on, and hopefully this makes you feel empowered, you know, because you're doing a very difficult job. And when you sort of hear an interpretation of it, I think, you know, it's hopefully this is very therapeutic for you as well. I know based on the comments, it was definitely an emotional one for me and other people in the audience. So thank you so much for volunteering. And I will move you into the back to the audience here. And then I think we have, John, we have time for one more. And we've got Renee, who is I'm going to bring to the stage. So Renee, you should be able to join us on stage and then open up your camera. And this, I can see so many applications of this art form, you know, in the way that we're doing it with caregivers and people dealing or sharing their emotional issues and things of that nature. But then also for like in the workplace, if people have workplace problems with their team members, you could see where this is very helpful. Okay, let's see. Okay, Renee, hopefully you can turn on your mic and camera now.
Unmute and video. Is
Yeah,
that
there we go, Renee.
okay?
Hello,
Okay.
hello, Renee.
Well, now
Okay.
you know how this is done, so I'm going to drop behind the curtains.
Whoa.
Hello, Renee.
Hello. I didn't expect to start with crying because what I had to relate was something that was so much fun. I'm 84. I have 2 grandchildren, a girl, Julia, who was 6 at the time of the story, no, 5, and her older brother, Paul, who was 8. And I'm visiting them on the West Coast. And Paul loves to sit in people's laps. It gets terribly annoying during dinner time. And especially if you want to get to your food. But I saw this happening, and he sat in Pop's lap for Dad's lap for a little while, and his mother's lap for a little while. And I couldn't wait. And I said, Paul, come here, I've got a lap. And Paul likes hands, and he took my hand and he looked all over my hand and he said, no, what's that? And that was my vein, which is really popping out now. And it was bright blue and very much on the surface. And I said, Paul, I was a little embarrassed to be seen as an old lady. So, or regretful, because I love to romp with them. And I said, Paul, that's a vein. And I can see it. And you can't see it on your body. I can see it. You can see it because I'm old. Mm-hmm. And I tried to sound as excited about it as possible. And so he continued to play with my hands. And I thought about that for a while. And then dinner was over, and it was, Julia is not as accessible. She's very self-willed. She knows exactly what she wants. And what she wants most is what I also want most. She loves to dance, and I love to dance. So I suggested we dance, and we were dancing together. And she was picking up my step, and I was picking up her step. And then after a very short time, she was in her own world of dance, and I could have just as well not been there. Oh. But I so much want, and here I'm going to cry, to have my family around me, especially now. And there's so much distance between us. And I so much miss watching them grow up.
And so where did you stay, Renee? So you said on the West Coast, where?
This was in Corvallis, Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, a college town. Yeah.
Okay. So actors, can you pop on the screen real quick, Renee? We want to play back your story. I want you to pick someone to play you. So you have Erin, Gregory, or Pamela. So Renee, you just pick someone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. Either
Oh,
we can
well.
it doesn't have to be, you can pick anybody to play you. So pick someone to play you, Erin, Gregory, or Pam.
Erin, would you play me?
Okay. All right. And so Renee, you're describing this love for family. And so in addition to loving Paul and Julia, right? Those are your two grandkids. What else do you miss about this connection with family?
I felt that it was important for young people. This includes my children and their children to see what aging is about.
To experience the beauty of aging.
To learn whatever I can teach them and to learn from them to stay young and connected.
Okay. All right. So give me a title to your story.
Oh dear. Oh my. Well, let's stay together.
Let's stay together. All right, Renee. So we're gonna have your story played back with these curious grandchildren and the beauty of aging. All right. So I'm just asking that you mute yourself, and then we're gonna watch your story play back. On the count of 3, I'm gonna say, Renee, let's watch. So Renee, make sure you put you mute yourself. All right. 1, 2, 3. Renee, let's watch.
Will I watch them grow old? Sometimes I just don't know. But every memory's like a treasure to me. Oh, let's stay together, loving you weather. Times are good or bad, happy or sad.
I love my grandkids. And they're so far away. I just wish I could see them more. Julia? Paul? Come here.
I love to sit. Oh, can I sit on your lap? I love to sit.
Yes, Nana would love to have you sit on my lap.
Oh, it's amazing. It's marvelous. I just get held up in the middle of the air and I'm held on somebody's lap.
Yes.
Oh, what is that
Oh.
on your hand and on your arm?
Oh, this one. It's a vein, Paul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do I have those too? I don't.
You have them, but you can't see them like you can see it on my skin, because my skin is old.
Oh, will I get old? Will I get
Paul.
old too?
Yes, you're going to be very old one day.
Oh,
you're going to
and
be
I'll have
very
veins
old.
like that.
Yes, and they're going to be beautiful.
Beautiful like me? Nana? Yes. Give me your hand again.
Oh,
that's
Julia.
so fun. Right. Right. I can do this all day long without you or with you. This is wonderful.
Oh,
I love dancing with you.
Oh, I love dancing with you, Julia. You are such a good dancer.
We have to dance like this all the time. Okay. I am going to be the best dancer in the world. And I'm going to tell everyone I started learning basic steps with my grandmother. See, I can still do what you taught me. Look, Grandma, look at me, Nana. I got it down pat. That was so much fun.
Look at you go. Look at you go. Look at them go. Look at them go.
Oregon.
Look at them go.
West Coast.
Look at me go. I love you.
Every memory is a treasure I carry with me. I miss the connection and the closeness to my family. 'Cause all the things that you can learn from me about aging gracefully, and you will see. So baby, let's stay together. No matter if we near or far, because you are my shining star.
Thank you, performers. Miss Renee, can you please unmute yourself and tell us what you thought about your story around your grandkids and family?
Unmute.
You have to unmute yourself, Renee, so we can hear you.
All right. Oh my. Well, I'm speechless, but got lots of tears, and I need a Kleenex right now.
And tears just show that we're alive and that we're human.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're moved by it. So is there anything that you want to say, or are you just grateful to have your story played back?
There's another part to my story, and that is that I connect with my body. I love having a body. I love it's being able to move and take me places. I love being able to tumble with my grandson, which later, when I tumbled him in the same scene, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but I was feeling that he was sitting on top of me, and I felt the crunch of my bones in the floor. And I said, Paul, wait, no, not so hard. And he said, oh, is that because you're old? I said, yes, that's because I'm old. So I'm really trying my best to enjoy being in an older body and feeling not like the person I'm seeing, but the person that I'm feeling.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful thing. Be the person you're feeling. And also thank you for the definition, redefining what people think old is. It's beautiful. Things change and they need to be shared amongst the generations so that as the generations age, it's not a fearful thing. It's something that you can step into. So I really appreciate your story from that angle and aspect too. So I'm gonna bring back Steve. Thank you, Renee.
Holy cow, Renee.
And actors. So honestly, before I'm about to give you and Erin the reins. So just real quick, I just want the actors who are on the screen to wave. I'm John. Tamika, can you wave? Pamela and Gregory, can you also wave? And we thank you guys so much for spending time with us. We're going to turn off and turn it back over to Erin and Steve. All right.
Man, Renee and our other volunteers, that was just so touching. And you know, I think when we started, we said we were going to have a blank canvas, and Erin, you and your team painted the most beautiful pictures.
Yeah.
It's just honoring, you know, these stories. It's just incredible. The talent that you and your team have to do that improv like that is just absolutely amazing. But Renee, I loved your story, but I can't wait to do a transcript of this because I want to quote you. Whatever you just said, I'm kind of, my head's kind of fuzzy and emotional right now, but I think your picture was a great one for us to end on, because yes, there are some challenging aspects to growing older, our health, our family spread all over, but you're embracing what you have and making the best of it. And I hope that this performance helped you celebrate that.
Thank you.
So Erin, tell us a little bit about like some of the ways that we can utilize playback in your services. I dropped your information in there, but what are some of the ways that we can use this art form?
Well, thank you so much again, Steve, for having us. We were really honored to be here today. So, I mean, as you can see, it's a very healing modality. So compassionate coaching, I specialize in helping end of life and bereavement professionals because they are doing a lot of the really, they're the unsung heroes who are helping the grieving and the dying, and they often don't get the support that they need. So they're kind of the first tier of people that I help, but it clearly extends to all helping professions, all caregivers, whether you're paid or unpaid. So this is a very healing modality, and it's all about helping people feel seen and heard, because we share our stories, which is healing in and of itself, but then you get this artistic lens, this different perspective on your story, and it can just broaden your appreciation for the people in your life. It can broaden your experience. You can also see that you're not alone. A lot of people resonated with the different stories that were told. And so it can be very healing for a team to, come together and experience this together and to heal as a team.
I love it. So folks, reach out to Erin, and they can help craft a program for you. I know we've got some senior serving professionals in the audience, and just imagine this for like a team retreat, how powerful something like this could be. Or perhaps, one of the things that I like is thinking about the like doing a Zoom meeting for the caregivers, the adult children, your clients.
Yes.
This could be such a positive experience for so many. Okay, well, this is great. Well, Erin, hang around a little bit, because I have another thespian in the audience who I'm putting him on the spot, but I saw him there. And Robbie, I'm gonna promote you to come on the as a panel member and turn your mic on. And so Robbie's familiar with playback theater because he is going to be leading our discussion next week on where Robbie created. Well, Robbie, you tell what you've done. It's just as awesome as playback theater. He created theater companies in retirement communities, and then they perform these musicals that are actually the lives of the residents there. Give folks in the audience a little preview of what we can expect next week.
Sure. I can't believe you just spontaneously called me on, though I didn't have a chance to do my hair or my but first, I just want to shout out to Erin and that incredible work. And I studied with Jonathan Fox back in the early 90s, and it was the most profound theater work that, it was the second most profound theater work. The theater work I'm currently doing is the first most profound. So Steve, this is just a moment to share that next week we have a webinar in which I'll be bringing some of my actors who are residents in a retirement community. And with them, I crafted the story of their lives, starting in the year of the eldest's birth in 1927, taking the audience through the headlines, pop culture, music of the decades of their lives, with stories about coming of age and marriage and divorce and challenges, bringing up kids, and putting it all to music. So it's incredibly, I'll take that word, the word healing. It's also, these artistic processes are all about healing. And, what was so amazing, the themes that were alive today about the love that in spite of the hard times that people are going through, it's like what supersedes is the love. And this format of playback just helps us all connect to that to the love that we all feel and want to feel more of, in spite of the shit that we're experiencing as we're doing our day-to-day existence. So,
well, and what I like about, but what I love about this, I mean, you can never overuse the word love, but it's when you have difficult problems or difficult times, applying the arts and theater to those difficult problems. And it's interesting because your performances are, in a way, sort of borrowing some of the benefits of playback theater, because your performers are telling their lives and now they're getting to perform it. And I'm sure that some of the same conclusions when you hear the playback theater are very similar.
yeah, and it's also lifting our sort of mundane lives to onto an artistic level. I mean, to see our tears manifest as a piece of art is very empowering and powerful. Yeah.
So, well, thank you. I'm glad you joined on, Robbie. When I saw your name there, I was like, holy cow, I can turn this into a little promotion for next week. And we know we've got an audience that appreciates the arts, and here's another application for it. But Erin, I mean, I'm giving you one of those big virtual hugs. I am so glad that our paths have crossed and that you reached out and we were able to share this absolutely amazing experience with our community. And anytime you want to come back on, this is very therapeutic for me personally. So I'm being kind of selfish here. But I absolutely love this. And Robbie, I'm really looking forward to next Wednesday and meeting some of your actors as well.
Great.
So thanks, y'all. And let's have a great week. And we will see you on Friday for that unbelievable real life story, and next week for Robbie. And reach out to Erin and make her a part of your team as well. All right.
Bye.